Join us today as we take you inside historic Carlson's Fishery to see the entire lake-to-table process, from fishing to smoking, finally serving them up at a local restaurant in Fishtown. It's a hands-on business where tradition meets hard work to bring fresh, local fish to your table. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Mitchell, and I'm the founder and your guide on the Follow the Fishing YouTube channel. Today we're at the Shabbytown Native American Harbor, waiting for a whitefish and lake trout load of fish to come in. An old friend of mine named Bear is the captain of this ship, and if you look at that little dot in the horizon there, you see his ship coming in.
Doing it 29 seasons.
No, you're the pro.
Yeah.
You're the go-to guy.
I still learn stuff each day.
Philosophy of what I'm trying to do here, and I don't really know what happens either, how to get the fish from the water and on the table. So you're the star today.
They work real good, and they're very mobile, and the size of them is what the size of the fish you catch. That's a nice one.
That is a nice one.
That'll make somebody a fine dinner.
Is that average size for you? Is that a
No,
bug?
that's a big one.
Yep.
This is like normal.
Yeah, that's beautiful too.
Yeah.
So what happens now? You drive to
Load them up and take them to Carlson.
all right, I'll be following you there too.
Yep. Yeah, fishing is not a job, it's a lifestyle.
It is.
We work closely with Carlson, and he gives me an idea of what he wants.
Can you fill all his orders?
For lake trout, yeah.
Can you?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Not all this whitefish. He needs a lot of whitefish. Catch a very small amount of whitefish.
You do?
Yeah. And then,
Is there a problem with the population?
yeah, the lake has really changed. The bottom of the food chain has been disrupted, so it's affected everything.
Leland Harbor here, well, historic and beautiful Leland Harbor. Here we go. There you see this place not bustling when there's no snow on the ground. This is a very popular summer place. All right. Here we go on point of sale. This is a late October day. Everybody's about to close down. It's packed in Fishtown. See the hunters going out. See it? There's Nell. What are you, 5th generation, buddy?
Yep.
This 100-year fishery?
Yeah, it's about 120 years now.
You love the business?
Yeah.
I think that's the key to success.
Love what
in
we
life.
do. We're closing out the end of the season, so obviously it's work, and it's like physical work. It's tough. We do everything by hand, so it's a lot of lifting. But yeah, we like it. Love being here. It's a good place to be. It's a positive place. We're best friends.
Okay.
Like, we work across the table from each other all day almost.
What goes on this machine, Nels?
This is the scaler. So the whitefish are the only ones we'll scale. Trout we don't scale. Or, I mean, if they get a few walleye or something, we'll send them through. That's nothing really. So we bring them in, weigh them. We really only scale like the absolute best that we want for retail. And then the rest of them, put them in this pile. This will be smokers because we need a lot of smokers right now. So scales on them so they don't stick to the rats when we smoke them.
So what drew you to come to work at Carlson?
Well, I worked at the Children's Center for 14 years. The summer of 2020, we all know what that brought, and they weren't open for the whole summer. And so Michael was here working with Nels and said, we need help at the fishery. Do you want to come down? And I said, yes. And then I ended up down here and never left.
Your name is?
Cassie. Cassie. Yep. And some of my favorite things about working here are the stories that people come in and tell about how they came here with their grandpa and they got a smoked chub and they went and ate it on the picnic tables, and they're continuing to do that tradition. We had a dad come here with his 2 little kids the other day, and he said, I used to do this with my dad. He's gone now, but I'm carrying on the tradition of doing that. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
There's Bear again. Logging out. Found? Yep. Look at, see if that's good.
You're down there as long as me. Pretty close. I think I was in the 40s. I started working when I got out of school. Bill Carlson and I were friends.
Yeah, same here.
And we played the game, baseball, whatever, together. And he said, why don't you come down and work for me? That was when I was 19, right out of school.
Wow.
Then we had a botulism scare, and he laid me off for a couple of years. I went uptown, got a bottle, I was going to get drunk, but I lost my job. Bill Nettle was there, and he said, why don't you come work for me tomorrow? So I started pounding nails for 5 years, and I came back around to here.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I first came here in 1967.
8 years before you did nothing? No. Senior year? So I wasn't at a
How long can you keep up this pace as a crew?
we did it this summer. We got every time we got fish. I never quit, did I? I never quit.
Yeah, go for 5 hours.
I'm just talking about
5 hours straight. Yeah, it's just like the old days, actually. My big problem is my back. If I can do this, I think I can do it all day.
And as they cut out these chin bones, they later grind that up into part of their smoked fish sausage, which is a delightful product. Another early morning at Carlson Fishery. Berta co-owner Mike Berta and Nels Carlson. The owners at the table here sorting out the fish. That always gives you confidence in the product. And a right-hand woman over here. So tell me what you're doing over here.
I'm moving racks so the fish don't stick to me.
So that's a butter or an oil kind of a mix?
Yeah, what do you call it, Mike?
Dealing, mixed with like soybean oil
That's,
and a couple other things. A lot of times salmon, they really stick to these racks. So what we use to keep them from sticking. They just sit in refrigerated salt water all night.
what exactly does brining do?
So the cells in the fish are porous. They take water in and out, and so it separates the fresh water that's in the cell. The salt goes into it, and they reach equilibrium. So the salt content of the brine and the salt content within the cell matches.
And what happens if you don't brine?
Well, I mean, originally it was for preservation of the
Right,
product,
right.
but now, we could smoke fresh fish, but one, it doesn't taste as good, and it wouldn't last. I mean, that's sort of the reason.
Okay. It's a hands-on business here, no doubt about it. Do all fish get the same amount of time in the smoker?
No, so, you know, basically, the thinner or the lower the fat content, the more quickly it finishes. So we have a probe that monitors the whole process constantly, and it downloads to Bluetooth, and then that'll tell us when part of the house is done, and then we have to hand probe the rest of the fish.
The lake trout has so much fat in it that it drips a lot. It'll drip onto the, like pool onto the white fish. And so we tend to put the white fish high and the salmon high, lake trout lower. And that's why we use like that beach sand in there that catches all that fat so it doesn't fire up. So these houses have been going for a little while. This house is where our jerky will go. So I haven't started this fire yet. So we'll start this and then we'll put logs on the other fire.
Great. Nice. Wow.
Yeah, we use cedar kindling and then this maple the rest of the time.
Right. So if you haven't concluded this by now, it's not, this isn't a business you want to buy and put your feet up.
So I set this fire up this morning, but didn't start it because once we get all the fish in, we still have a whole process to get the jerky ready. There's no reason to waste the firewood. Give it a minute just to make sure it's going and then close the door. Now I'll show you right here. We have these computers that are hooked to the probes. And so right now we're at 79 degrees over here and 76 degrees over here in the fish.
Wow.
So what I was saying earlier is this has to be at 145 degrees for at least a half hour. That's the requirement for the fish. And then it's really light at that point. So we keep it in there for another, usually hour and a half till it's around 180 internal temperature. Our coolers, our freezers, our cases, all of them have to have that constant tracking.
Yeah, you want that.
It's a lot of data to manage.
It's scary. No, it is. Your position, you want that. All those backups, that's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of responsibility.
Takes a long time to recover from something like that.
Then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not.
Between shifts now, you're preparing for jerky?
First we're gonna hang beef. So we make our beef jerky out of flank steak and we trim all the fat off and then we put it in strips and hang it on nails and smoke it. So that's up next. And then turkey. We have a special seasoning recipe. So our beef goes in the brine for 5 nights and our turkey goes in the brine for 2 nights.
Wow.
And it's kind of like a proprietary mix of some certain seasonings.
Don't tell me that. And that's the brine solution, right?
No, this is so we rinse it and then we rinse it all out and then we put it back in without the brine. So it's just kind of like a rinse.
I see.
You know, the brine is essentially inside of the meat at this point.
Right.
we don't wash it long enough that it'll pull the salt and the seasoning out of the meat, but it washes the salt off the outside.
Great. I understand that. There they go. See you in what? How many hours?
A few. That'll be probably 3 hours.
Every day with the temperature and the wind, everything's different. So
Okay, this is preliminary checking.
Yes, trim jerky. So much more meat. So
we were saying we need a half hour on the fish at over 145. So at 10:38 they were both at 152, and right now they're both at 166. We have our time and temperature, but we're now just gonna see what it looks like.
see this?
So we know these need more time, even though they're technically cooked.
All right, keep them going.
Alrighty.
Smoked trout's done.
Alrighty.
Nothing else. So this house is in the middle, so it's got
Both sides.
heat
I
over
see.
here. So it typically goes a little quicker.
But your top rack there is still whitefish, right? Or is this all us?
I can't remember what we loaded. Yep, that's whitefish.
Wow, is that beautiful?
Yeah.
So that takes quite a bit more time.
No, it's just that it was the last thing we put in, right? So it hasn't been in as long.
I see. Yeah.
And if you look at this whitefish, see how much lighter in color it is?
Oh yeah.
It's not where we want it yet. And this salmon is almost done, but it needs a little more color too.
Oh, that's beautiful, though, isn't it? God. Not do this, folks.
These have to get below 70 degrees in 2 hours. So we'll put ice on the floor, fans on,
Oh wow. Okay.
rapidly cool them.
Watch that. Deadliest catch. They all have ice creams like this.
We make about a ton a day when we have it on.
Just turn the ice machine off for the year.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, so in an hour or so, there'll be beef jerky, turkey jerky, and all the rest of the fish, and this room will look a little more impressive, I'm sure, with
Good.
everything in it.
Yep. They done?
Just
Yeah.
the top.
All right.
Just the top one.
Nice. You take a little boy off that or no?
That's turkey.
Right off the racks. That's good. Smoked turkey on here. Wow. Get the salmon. Processing. Here comes the whitefish.
All right, rest.
Now I gotta get some of that beef jerky.
Cooling station. Nice. Beautiful. Wow. Oops. Last long. I understood what the final product was, but I never understood the process. Really delicious. Thank you.
You bet. That's where you eat it. Hello. Come on in.
Well, after a complete day of seeing the process of bringing the fish out of the water and onto the table, fish from Carlson Fishery served at the wonderful restaurant in Cove. You know a restaurant is good when the local people eat there. Here we are at the Cove enjoying a fish dinner. So